Hello and welcome to this presentation of a brief overview of the UDiscover program. My name is Kim Albrecht. I work with the Gallagher Center. I do oversee undergraduate research through our office. So this overview will give you a little information about how to contact Kirk's and Gallagher Center. We'll also review the application timeline, talk a little bit about the summer program logistics itself, and how the hours, student stipend, and mentor stipend work. So first, I want to mention that UDiscover is a program of Council for Undergraduate Research and Creative Scholarship. Kirk's is available to you if you have questions and need assistance during the application process or during the program itself or even after. So we are there to provide assistance in different schools and colleges depending on what kind of assistance you need. The program itself is administered through the Gallagher Center. So myself, as the UDiscover program coordinator, would be your primary person to contact if you have basic questions, need assistance, need help contacting Kirk's, and so forth. The best way to reach me is by email through engage@usd.edu, or feel free to telephone or stop by ID Week's library at our office. The application timeline. First, the written application is due on February 15th. The online application consists of a 2-page project description and submitting an unofficial transcript. The online application, which you will fill out through a Google form, is one step. To complete that application, you also need to complete a mentor-mentee agreement, as well as your mentor submitting a recommendation letter. Now, the recommendation letter does come from the mentor that you are working with on the project. It should not come from an additional or an outside faculty or staff. It should be from the mentor. Then on March 5th, students will be notified of their status. The applications will have been reviewed by the committee, and the finalists will be invited to do a second phase of the application process. This is the interview. Interviews will take place March 18th through the 19th with the selection committee. And then by March 26th, students will be notified of their status. We will make awards at that time, and the awards will be either accepted or declined based on student needs. And we will have our cohort announced at that time. The written application does have a 3-part process, as mentioned. First is the Google form to fill out. On this form, you're going to be asked basic information about yourself, your major, year in school, etc. And then you will need to attach a proposal describing an original project. The proposal has a maximum of 2 pages. The instructions about font and other requirements are listed in the directions. In addition, you'll be asked to list supplies, travel expenses, and anything that you would need to budget for your project. The budget that you list is not an ask for additional funds. It is simply there to help the committee visualize how you are planning your project, make sure that you have thought about any supplies that you're going to need to acquire before you do your project, and make sure that that plan is in place. Then you will be asked to also upload an unofficial transcript. The next step in the process is that you will need to complete a mentor-mentee agreement. This is a DocuSign Power form. So once you complete the Google form, you'll have information on how to complete the mentor-mentee agreement. And then finally, the mentor will be asked to submit a recommendation form, which will include the letter of support. If you are invited to the second phase to do an interview, this will happen with the selection committee. Interviews are basically an opportunity to expand on your written application. So it will be a time for you to expand on your qualifications and your goals with this project, and then also maybe clarify questions about your proposal that the committee may have. Interviews this year will take place via Zoom, and you will be scheduled for a 15-minute slot. Most interviews, however, last only about 10 minutes. Do expect to meet with about 4 to 6 committee members during the interview, and be prepared to answer their questions. The summer program itself does consist of 300 hours of work over a 10-week period. During this program, we do expect mentors and students to meet regularly to discuss the project, to make sure that you're meeting your objectives. And then also they are expected to attend an orientation in early May. The orientation is an opportunity to get to know everybody that is part of the UDiscover summer program and network with them. During the 10 weeks, students will also meet bi-weekly. These meetings are about 1 hour long. So plan on 4 meetings, usually around the lunch hour, and you will have an opportunity to discuss topics based on the presenters that we have scheduled for each meeting. Students are also required to complete a responsible conduct and research training. This training is usually within the first or second week of the program, and it is a requirement of the program. Students are also expected to participate in a reflective process during the 10 weeks. So students will be asked to reflect through journaling and completing a progress report each week. It's very important to disseminate your work as part of the undergraduate experience. And so we will offer an opportunity for you to do that as a group at the end of the program. So towards the end of August, we will, as a group, present at USC Foundation's Heritage Club meeting. And then throughout the following academic year, all students are encouraged to work with their mentors to plan presentations and submit abstracts for regional and national conferences. All UDiscover awardees are also required to present at IDFS the following spring. This usually happens in early April. And you may choose to do either a poster presentation or an oral presentation to present your work from UDiscover. The program lasts 10 weeks, and each student will be completing approximately 30 hours a week for a total of 300 hours. The tentative dates are May 24th through August 1st. However, there is a little bit of flexibility in this depending on your own needs. So for example, if you are waiting for supplies and it doesn't make sense for you to start before, say, May 27th, you may extend your time frame a little bit and maybe either make up those hours by working a few more hours a week, as long as it stays within below 39 hours. Or you might extend your project a few days after the August 1st deadline. Any changes that you do make to the schedule that is proposed does need to be discussed with the Gallagher Center, but we are happy to work with you one-on-one to meet your needs. Each student will be awarded a $5,000 stipend. This is paid directly to you to use how you choose and deposited into your account through direct deposit. This is an hourly position, so you will receive $16.67 an hour, and you will receive this payment through the SNAP system, and that means that each pay cycle runs from the 22nd of the month to the 21st, and then you will be paid the last working day of the month. So for UDiscover, this means that you will receive a partial part of your stipend at the end of June, then again at the end of July, and the final payment at the end of August. Your largest sums will come in June and July. There is also a $400 mentor stipend. Mentors are encouraged to use the stipend to help UDiscover students pay for any project supplies. However, if no funds are needed for the project, you may consider recoding a research expense that you already happened and already used during the past academic year, or purchase supplies that are needed for future use in the department. So funds for this fiscal year of 21 must be used during this fiscal year. And that means that the department administrator must receive all the information about recoding and et cetera by the cutoff date that's listed from accounting. Here's a brief overview of those deadlines. So for UDiscover, expect to submit your spending information to your department administrator no later than May 1st. And then by May 15th, make sure that all purchases are completed. And if you are doing any recoding, make sure that all recoding is completed by May 30th. If for any reason you do need an extension past these dates, whether you're ordering something that is maybe back ordered or have another issue that comes up, you do need to request and notify the Gallagher Center at least 10 days before the accounting cutoff date. So again, that May 15th date for completing purchases, if it's not completed by that date, then you should notify the Gallagher Center immediately. That wraps up the information that I have today for the general overview of UDiscover. Again, my name is Kim Albrecht, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us at engage@usd.edu. Thank you.